Coming close to the end of this great session, I was at the close reflecting, Mr. President, about, you know, you're just elected, you got the mandate from the people of Kenya. You probably also reflected already, as all good politicians, on how you want to be remembered. What do you really want to achieve as a president of Kenya? And we would really like to know this. What are the 5 things you would like to be remembered for, and where you will not compromise?
I think the first is being a leader who actually brought an inclusive form of government that was transparent and accountable to its citizens would be the first point that would be on my agenda. The second is the ability to realize the dream of our forefathers of having an integrated Africa at peace with itself and a prosperous with the ability to be able to tap on the greatest potential that I believe we have, which is our young people. I think the third thing, which is a dream that we also have, is to see the political and economic federation of East Africa. That is something that would be absolutely fantastic. The fourth is, just as I have seen myself take over from my successor and he has gone into retirement at peace with himself, I would want to conclude my term and go home at peace with myself, knowing that there's nobody I have to look over my shoulder chasing me because of things that I did when I was in government.
Maybe joining Minister Borg in Masai Mara, or?
That would be fantastic, with our grandchildren speaking to each other and saying, we used to be told that Europe was the place to be, and it's amazing that you're now coming to live here in Africa and seeking visas to come and join us here in Africa.
And we will hope that your grandchildren is not saying this Africa used to be poor, but no, we see that happening other places in the world. We will all make sure that we collaborate and trade. I would like, on behalf of all the participants, to thank the distinguished panel, also for the great aspiration of making Africa more prosperous, inclusive growth. All this requesting, of course, a prerequisite for this is investing in young people, education, gender. I think the panel has laid out a very proactive reform agenda for Africa, and thank you for joining us, and a good round of applause to the panel. Thank you.